Mukbangers, yeah. Still look at that. It's like, I don't know. I can't see what you can see. Let me look at it. That's why it's just like some fruits in there. Um, I'm gonna get munching. So, nearly had an accident on the way home on the bus. Black car pulled out in front. There's a bit of skid in the wheels, and it was pretty close. I don't know if she realised just how lucky she was, but about as close as it gets without actually hitting the car, you know. Bus is ramming forwards, yeah. Car's going around the front. Bus driver, he went, you know, not in a big way, but says, is everyone all right? I just stuck my thumb up like that, yeah. So, I've had a pretty profound day. I've hit the sort of moment that I've been wanting to hit for a long time. And I know I'm right because as I was sat down, like the ducks came over to me, a crow came over to me. And the vibe was right, so I knew that I was in the right place mentally. I was going to get in a lot of comments of people, and I just came to a point where I realised that there was no harm in them. There was literally no harm in them. I mean, one girl said lay him out. I mean, and another girl said something about sucking on their little willies or something. So I don't know. I mean, the doper thing someone says is the better, innit? You know, my mum is right when she says, like, because of the internet and, like, people just comment on whatever they want to say. You know, they will say whatever it is that they want to say. I mean, that's how she works it out. You know, she's probably been told that by someone. You know, I'm getting a lot going down. A lot of not a lot. I mean, a lot is like a whole chunk of this going down the wrong way. You know. I mean, it was a beautiful moment, and then like, somebody went because the way I was toking on my vape, and you know, it is what it is. All my leg, all my leg. I had holes drilled in my leg, and sometimes it really hurts. Like a hole has been drilled in my leg right now. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, deedle. Yeah, so again, the comments were something about sucking on, sipping on penises or something. And the girl said, lay him out, you know, because like I was saying, like, this is what I'm feeling. No, was I bad side when you walked in the room? You know, yeah. And it was like really, really in tune. Let me just check I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just take little nibbles because like, that's really ripe. No, I'll have a bit more. I mean, this is huge for me, really, really huge, because I knew pretty hard since I actually got angry twice, like yesterday and today. A lot, not a lot, a bit yesterday and then very little today, but it was after the anger that then the awareness came to me that like yeah, I don't want to go on about it too much. I mean, I want it to be like this huge thing because it is a huge thing, but what it is it's just it's positivity, you know, which I've practiced for years. It's I've been on a mission to I have been on a mission, and it's like I always knew. It's a bit like, you know, the fact that I'm a woman, you know, I've always known that. But like, it's kind of like that. It's that I always knew that people's comments, you know, weren't. I knew that I needed to come into an awareness where I understood that it all came from a good place, you know. And I've been searching and trying, you know, really hard for a long time to make that real. And it really became very, very real today. Like I say, 2 ducks came over to me, a crow was fucking with me. And I knew I was in the right space mentally. I knew that what I was embodying was actually the truth. Those animals taught me that it was the truth. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it, really. I mean, I went into like, I looked up assertiveness, yeah, because I felt like I got called a slag, and this was a bit difficult for me for a while, because this is today, because I've been called a slag, and I looked up assertiveness, and it got me to thinking that like, if someone calls me a slag, then I can say like, excuse me, but like, I find that offensive, you know, do you mind? You know, but after having realised that these comments don't come from a bad place, I feel like I'm in more of a grey area than other people, because when when I'm being assertive, right? Because, I mean, this is like, to be honest, it's like a huge relief for me. This is just the most huge, like, piece of relaxation that, like, I've walked into in, like, a long time, you know, because I get probably about 50 comments a day said around me, sometimes to me, you know, and I was dwelling on, I was holding assertiveness, right? And I know my finger's in the shot. I was holding assertiveness and having trouble swallowing that. And I was thinking, like, well, yeah, because I get about 50 comments a day, and some are said around me, and you know, I'm unsure, you know, whether or not they're said to me. Some are said directly to me, and I'm unsure whether, you know, I was unsure when I was holding about assertiveness. This was before it really came to me, and that I really realised. But I was like, well, how can I ever be assertive? Because, you know, I was saying to myself that other people's assertiveness lies in, like, say they're at work and they have to stand up for people because people are trying to use you, you know, you're trying to do your job and you've got all the employees trying to take advantage of you, you know, that kind of thing is like an easy thing to figure out with assertiveness. You just go to assertiveness training, you get assertive, and you stop that from happening. And that's where most, like, people's assertiveness lies. But with my assertiveness, you know, it's a whole huge grey area because I get all these comments, you know, I can't pick and choose which ones are good, which ones are bad, you know, and be assertive towards them because, like, it all happens too fast, and, you know, people just, you know, and it's literally impossible to know. And that's what I was holding before everything just, with the realization around them 2 comments, you know, everything just fell into place. So I'm trying to think what bus I got down there. Yeah, the number 11 flashed into my head, and I was like, you know, I was like, oh, you're not really remembering that. That's coming from somewhere else. You know, you need to work it out. But it was actually 11. It was. It was the, can I be exact? No, I can't remember. It was about 11 o'clock. So, I took a beer with me. I didn't drink it. I was coming back from Tesco's, right? And I said to myself, you know, I'm going to get popped, you know, oops. I'm going to get popped. You know, what do they say? They say he's full, or he's going to burst, or, you know, things like that people say, you know. And nobody said that. It was just, I felt like I knew it was going to happen. But the thing is, it actually, it nearly did happen, because if I'd have took what the girl said about lay him out, right, If I'd have took what she said the wrong way, I would have popped. And it was a close call, you know. It was close. I mean, I felt myself go a little bit, you know, and I managed to step my way around it. But if, like Teal Swan says, right, if I'd have gone into that trigger, I would be in fucking pieces right now. I'd fucking blew me apart, it would have done. I mean, I would have been in bits for hours. So, you know, it's not really... I mean, triggers are healing, yes, I know that. And I did used to... I did used to go out of my way, mentally and spiritually, to hope that, like I say, one day this week, I was triggered from 8 in the morning till 5 at night. And that's why I wanted it, but realising, though, that when she said that comment, right, lame out, and I had a choice in my mind, you know, I started to go, and I was like, I don't want to go, you know, and I don't know, it was just like, it's funny because going, right, is something that people do nowadays. I mean, when I was a kid, people didn't used to go. It just never happened. Not from, like, someone making a comment to you. I mean, I think what it is that, like, people are hugely open nowadays. They're really, really open, and you get a lot of comments. I mean, me, I get crazy comments. Like I say, I get about 50 comments a day, but, like, I don't even know what I'm saying here. Yeah, I mean, it's about, you know, seeking out triggers. If I'd have gone into that trigger, it would have taken me apart. It would have done. And that would be because I'm holding that, you know, I don't get it, to be honest. For me to be holding that she meant something horrible by what she said when she didn't, you know, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of the Sedona method. And I don't really get it, and I don't know how to use it, to be honest. I mean, I'm like so grateful that I stepped around that trigger, and that, I mean, because, like, Sedona method's one method, but there is another method as well, which is just to, you know, stay positive and whatnot. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I stepped around that trigger, I did. And I'm so grateful that I did, because, you know, I held that time with them two ducks and that raven, you know. It was a really special time because I knew that I was mentally in the right space. And I guess all it is that that's my way, you know, just so long as just so long as I know that when I'm triggered, you know, it's okay. You know, I mean, like I say, I triggered someone by the way I was toking on my vape. What it was is that I sensed like a hinky kind of energy from them, and I thought, you know, I can't trust these people, you know, and in my mind, mentally, I put up a little bit of a boundary towards them. And then I'm toking on my vape, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, I felt like I didn't want to be judging them, and that, like, maybe I'd been like a bit hasty, saying like, I want to be like wary, you know, I don't know if to use that word, wary, a little bit scared of these people, you know. I didn't want to be completely open with them. I felt like I was in some kind of, there needed to be some kind of boundary there. Anyway, one of them went, and I know that, and that was because they were just, I figured it's because they were judgmental, you know, that's why they went. One of them went. She said like, I'm going, you know, or I went, or something like that. And the best I can do, right? I can't do the Sedona method on triggers. I can't go into a trigger because that just makes me feel like I'm insulting the person who's triggered me by allowing that trigger, allowing to feel that, you know, allowing me to go to a place in my mind where like my mind just melts down and like, you know, and I just feel like I'd be holding the hate, the hate. I'd be holding hate because, you know, it's, and that's all I can say about it, really. But like, I feel that it's like really important that I do know that triggers are okay. You know, I think for me, it's best for me to do my best to avoid them. It's weird. There has to be like a structure to my method of doing this because I can't go out of my way to avoid triggers in that, you know, don't leave the house or something like that. You know, I can't do that. I've got to go after triggers, you know, in the way of like, I've got to do voluntary work. I've got to get on that bus, you know, I've got to do things like that. I can't, you know, go stepping around like triggers in my life like that. You know, I just step around the trigger in terms of when I'm present with a trigger, I do step around it because I feel that to go into it would be an insult to the person who triggered me. And that's all I want to say about triggers. So I hope you enjoyed my video and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.